Okay, welcome into day two, part two of MONEYfesting. This is so fun. I'm so grateful every single one of you are here live with me and also on the replay. You guys are all amazing. And the fact that you're committing to being here live or on the replay, right, shows me that you are ready to shift. You are ready to expand and bring in more money, wealth, abundance, possibilities, opportunities, connections into your life. Okay, so that's really exciting. So today we have we're going to continue on the conversation, but we're going to talk about the nervous system, bring in the nervous system, which I know is a really popular topic and also very, very, very important. And we're going to relate it to frequency, identity, vibration. We're going to talk about some of the universal laws because once you know how to work with the laws and your nervous system, you are literally unstoppable. So this is really exciting. Who who did the homework? Who did the homework? Your homework was to look for signs and make it all about you. That was part of the homework. It was also, we did lots yesterday. We traveled through time. We got to know that version of ourselves, the version of us who has the money that we're calling in, right? And we got to know her a little bit more. So another part of the work and the journey going forward is like continuing to spend time with her and to study her and to be her in every moment of every day. And remember, it's not, we're going to talk about this in a second. It's not like I need to be 100% there. It's not that at all, right? Because that's not the human experience. So we're going to talk about that. Okay. Kelly said yesterday you asked what it would take to bring $1 million. I calculated, and all I have to do is sell 200,000 copies of my book. Oh, and yes, signs on signs on signs on signs in my sleep. I love that. And I shared in the group chat a sign I saw this morning, right? Amazing. I love them so much. So after yesterday's conversation, hey Krista, you probably saw some signs, right? Maybe you experienced some shifts, especially because I asked you a question of like, what is leaking your energy? What doesn't feel aligned in your life anymore? Because building awareness around that is actually going to help it to shift out because maybe subconsciously you're holding on to it because you believe it's your form of safety or you're relying upon it in some way, right? But when you can recognize, wow, this is actually really draining me and I would make a lot more money if I didn't hold on to this. Just an example, it's wild, right? So if you guys experience some signs, share them in the chat. Love to hear about them. I see numbers everywhere, right? Nearly every morning I go for a walk and it's like my I used to call it, remember I did that series on my podcast back, I think it was in June, called uh like soul connection walks or something like that. I can't remember what I called it. But it's that. It's like it's my opportunity to just fucking ground and breathe and like come home to myself. And like I have three kids at home with me all the time. Um, and yeah, as we know, right? It can okay, sweet. It can be a lot. So starting the morning fresh and clear for me is very important. So I used to really make it a point to get up before the house, but now my two older kids like to get up really early too. But they respect my time and my space. And they have their own time and their own space in the morning too. They're busy doing their crafts or reading or doing things like that as well. And sometimes they join me on the walk. But anyway, this morning I was out on the walk and I was sitting, I really like, I felt that I had some things to process. Like I just felt like heavy in my chest. You guys know the feeling, right? So I love going for walks for that because it's specifically my opportunity to converse with myself, with my highest self, with my source, my God, the universe, and just like move the energy through my body. So this morning, like I said, I go for walks and I think and I pray and I ground. And this morning I said this prayer and I just had this like visceral response, this like landing of like, oh my God, it's done. Like it is done. Like I don't need to worry. I don't need to stress. I don't need to like figure anything out. Like it's done. And I looked over and like after sitting there for like, it must have been more than 5 minutes. I looked over and there's this freaking, yeah, it's a lighter, whatever, but somebody's lighter. I'm like, and keep in mind, like I'm sitting in like the woods, you guys. Like this is not like I'm on like the sidewalk and there's like garbage and like people's stuff everywhere. Like I'm in like the woods. I'm like, what is the lighter doing out here? And I look over and it's 777, this number that's on the lighter. And instantly, we can, people outside of this space might be like, who cares? Like it's a lighter, like some fucking weirdo is really this lighter. But I see it as a sign and I make it mean something, right? Every single time I see a sign and I intentionally look for signs that reassure myself, reassure my conscious mind, and then my subconscious mind, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, right? It reassures me. I know. I know I'm on the right way. I know I'm on the right track. I know I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. It's 11:11, guys. I know that it's all working out in my favor, but this morning, there's some times when the signs really help, right? The signs help. And it's like this little like wink from the universe, right? So I looked over and there's this 777. And it's extra significant because I was talking about the number 777 last night. So it just kind of like clicked in and I was like, wow, thank you. Thank you. And it just brings me to tears because it's like, wow, it is done. And now I can move in the assumption of, right? Move in the assumption of rest in the knowing, move in the assumption of. It's so beautiful. So yesterday, I also shared, actually, I just want to read some signs here for a second. Kelty said, I woke up in the night and looked at the clock at 11:11 and 3:33. I see 11 or 111 everywhere and 44 and 22. Even videos that I come across seems like messages. Even videos that come across me seem like messages from source. Yes, absolutely. I was standing there yesterday looking out the window, feeling so happy and grateful. And then I looked down and realized I was doing dishes and I knew that I'd shifted so much because I used to hate dishes. And now I find joy and love and connection everywhere. Amazing. You're amazing, you guys. Like, yes. I I love seeing I see numbers a lot too, Kelty. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. And absolutely, like so much has shifted, specifically for Kelty. I have been able to witness it and I'm so grateful. I'm so proud of you. So I shared in the group chat yesterday the thought that came to me. Sorry for my wild hair, you guys, as well. Like rocking the windy hair here. Um, I shared with you guys what thought came up after the call. And I shared it in the group chat because I truly believe that people need to know, right? Like people need to know that it's not just like it just goes away, right? So most people don't share that. And yeah, maybe, there's part of me after that was, again, my mind was like, maybe you shouldn't have shared that. And I was like, no, fuck off. I am sharing that because it's real. And like, I am here to take you on this journey with me and show you the behind the scenes, right? That's what we do in my world. I share the behind the scenes of what's going on and what I'm personally experiencing because I love to teach through my own experiences, right? Yeah, yesterday Kelty said I needed to hear that yesterday. Absolutely, because we have this idea, thanks to social media, thanks to like this fucking facade. Sorry, but it's true that most coaches, mentors, like business owners have. It's almost like this persona. It's like, oh, I'm like professional. I'm like, okay, that's great. I love that for you, I guess. But like, can you not just be real and like actually share what's going on? So anyway, I wanted to share that because that's actually the reality. And for most people, if not every single person, you guys, they still feel that duality. They still receive that doubt, that fear, that little flicker of like insecurity or like whatever it is. There will always be contrast and there will always be duality, especially those of us who are entrepreneurs, right? Because if we're not feeling that, something's wrong because it means we've stopped growing. So yesterday's feeling, of course, it was subtle because I'm not new to this work, but I wanted to share it with you guys because the fact is it's not going to go away, right? It's not going to go away. And like I just said, if it goes away, I've stopped growing. Something's wrong. The thing that changes though is our perspective on it and the power it actually has on us. So it's up to us to continue to affirm what we do want and continue to take action in the new way, regardless of what the mind is telling us. That's very, very important because it's very common for us to experience that doubt or that fear or whatever it is, and then react to it. So instead of reacting to it, we must take action in a new way if we want to continue to grow and continue to change our results. So on yesterday's call, I shared the story, well, a couple stories, but the story of quantum leaping from government housing to Costa Rica in 9 months. Specifically on this topic, there were so many times that my mind was like dead set on the fact that I was definitely making the wrong decision and I should just give up and turn around. Okay. Many different times that thought came in. One time in particular, I had to go give my notice in the building I was living in. People don't normally leave those places, right? The system is set up to keep you there. The more money you make, the more money you don't get from the government as support. Okay, so people don't usually leave, never mind go to Costa Rica from there. They don't move to Costa Rica from there. So as I was walking over to that building, I was literally shaking. Like I was vibrating, you guys. Not from like excitement, although there was always this like flicker of excitement in my belly, right? But I was like so freaking nervous. So I walked over to that office with that paper in my hand, and my mind wasn't just telling me to turn around, it was screaming, turn around, right? But I didn't listen to it. Why didn't I listen to it? Because my dream was bigger than my fear. My dream was bigger than my fear. So I want to ask you right now, is your dream bigger than your fear? Is that dream that you experienced yesterday in your imagination? Is it bigger than your fear? Because if not, your fear is going to win. Okay, so even though I still felt the fear, I didn't react to it because I knew where I was going and I understood the fact that there's no way I could possibly fuck it up. So by law, it happened. It happened. So we will never be 100% certain. I just want to say that again. We're never going to be 100% certain, right? Melissa yesterday shared she needs to be 100%, certain in herself and her offer. We're never going to be 100% certain. What matters is that we are 51% certain. We are 51% certain. What matters is if we can hold the new idea and the new frequency 51% of the time. That's it. Okay. And chances are you're going to hold it 75% of the time. You're going to be 99% certain, right? Wherever you're at. And each day is different, but can we stay 51% certain? And 51% of the time, can we stay in that new frequency and that new vibration? Doesn't that feel like a relief? Let me know. Because the vibration you are in most of the time. Yeah, love that. The vibration you are in most of the time is what you are manifesting from, right? Just because you have a sad moment or you lose your shit at one point and it's not an opportunity to react and tell ourselves, I've like fucked up the whole thing, like nothing's happening, I am horrible, I'm not there yet, blah, 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 I'm not good enough, I need to work harder. No. Can you hold a new vibration 51% of the time? Your work is to recognize, oh shit, this happened, and that's not how she would move. That's not how she would react to the situation. So then come back. And that's it. No hard feelings. Kelly said, wow, that shifts things. I was worried that the bit of fear that pops up might block me. 51%, easy peasy. It's done. It's done. Right? So that happened for me. I was able to do what I did because I was vibrating at a new frequency most of the time. I was thinking from a new idea and moving in a new way most of the time. So the law of attraction states that like attracts like, right? It's a secondary law to the law of vibration. If your desire is big enough, by law, it will come. It will come. And that's so exciting, right? That's so exciting. The law of attraction is always working in your favor. Oh man, I'm going on vacation then. It's so done. Absolutely it is, Kelty. Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh, what a relief, right? It's done. And now all I need to do is my part. That's beautiful. We're going to talk about that in a second. So if your desire is big enough and you want it, it will come. So that's why if somebody says something, so I'm going to just use this as an example, but related to your own self. If you're like, "Oh, I would really love that thing, but what? But the money's not here yet. The money's not coming, but I don't know how." Okay. Chances are there's more to the story, right? Because if you really want something, you're going to find a way to do it. You're going to, like, the law of attraction will deliver. If you really truly want something, it will deliver. But you've got to be honest. You've got to be honest. So if you were like, I would really love to join that program, I would love that so much. But subconsciously, maybe consciously, you're like, but the money's not here yet. And I don't know where the money's going to come from. But then subconsciously, maybe you're not even aware of it, you are afraid of success. You're afraid of losing friends. You're afraid of being the black sheep. You're afraid of failure. That is impacting your vibration. Are we following? Does that make sense? So often, like if somebody says, I really want to be in there, or you don't love yourself, right? There's something underneath the surface. So that's why, like, for me, I know when somebody says they want to be in my program, it's a matter of time. Like they literally, I'm like, okay, great. They're going to be in the program. If they really want it, they will be inside. But it's their own journey to be able to discover what is actually blocking them from the law of attraction working in their favor, right? So they're attracting, if it's not happening, if the money is not coming, there's an opportunity for you to get really clear on why not. Because once you're clear on that, it'll happen because you want it to happen. And if you are vibrating as if it is already done, it is a done deal. It's already like Kelty said, I'm going on vacation, right? Spain, here I come. It's a done deal. But if there's fear, if there's doubt, that's impacting your vibration. You're leaking your energy to it, right? That's how I see it. And you're attracting from there. It's like an underlying, this subconscious beliefs, right? So interesting. So here's where the nervous system comes in. There were times, like I shared, and there are always times, right? When your mind or when my mind tried to hijack my dream, right? Tried to hijack my dream. And the nervous system's job is to keep us safe, right? It's designed to find potential threats and warn us so we can fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. So when the body senses danger, a signal is sent to the part of our brain called the amygdala, which then initiates the fight or flight response. This is like the body's alarm system, right? So it's activating the sympathetic nervous system to release those stress hormones and prepare the body to fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. But here's the thing. That part of our brain is ancient. It's focused on survival. And it can't decipher the difference between us being chased by an alligator or taking action in a new way. Wild, right? So that same response is triggered. So the brain releases that stress hormone and the sympathetic nervous system is engaged. So our work is to not run from things that feel scary or we have doubts about or we feel resistance around. Our work is to not hide from them and tell ourselves it's a bad thing. Our work is to actually lean in and work with our nervous system. So when our conscious mind and our subconscious mind agree on something, we become unstoppable, right? Just like Kelty just did in real time. We just saw those two come together for Kelty. Okay, she was able to go from thinking that I don't know where the money's going to come from for Spain. Like I want to go there, but maybe feeling a little bit of doubt. I'm not sure specifically, right? Maybe there was a little bit of a doubt because she was maybe telling herself, oh, well, like the 51% thing of like, maybe I can't put words in your mouth, but I'm just going to hypothetically say, maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe it's not going to work. What if it doesn't work out? So what happened is just by realizing that all she needs to do is stay in that vibrational alignment 51% of the time, it's a done deal. The law of attraction is working in your favor. Okay. And so, like I said, when your conscious mind and your subconscious mind agree on something, yeah, there we go. That's what it is. Part of me says, well, if I don't make it this year, I'll go next year. All right. So you are consciously, or you were consciously making a plan B. So it shows you that there was a little bit of doubt. And that's okay, right? It's all in awareness. So when the conscious mind, which is our reasoning mind, it likes to know how, it likes to see the way, and it likes to see the tangible results, right? So the conscious mind can accept and reject ideas. So for example, if you encounter someone or something, as an example, like someone else's opinion of the world, you can accept it or you can reject it. You can like, you don't have to say it to them, but you can say it to yourself. I actually fully reject that. Like, I don't believe that the world is a bad place, or I don't believe that we're, like money is limited or whatever it is, right? So we can reject it. But once you accept it, your subconscious mind has no choice other than to accept it. Okay. So the subconscious mind is wide open, accepting everything as truth up until around the age of 7 years old. So if we were born into poverty, lack, limitation, abuse, there's a chance that you're still running that program. Okay. And you can probably even hear stories in your head, right? Maybe you go to, I'll use Kelty as an example. You go to, take this trip to Spain to do this. I think she's going for this walk, right? And Camino de Santiago, right, Kelty? Remind me. But maybe there's a program that was like, you're not good enough, you're just because I know a little bit of the backstory here, it's like people's voices saying like, you need to lose weight, like you're not fit, you're not, whatever. It's like those stories will come up, right? Or who are you to go on a vacation? I'm not saying that's what your family's saying, but that's definitely what mine would have said at some point, right? But it's like, when I first moved to Costa Rica, my grandma was like, who are you to live in another country? You haven't worked hard enough. Like that was the program. But it's our work is to become aware, is to just become aware of our beliefs and become aware of those inner voices and not just suppress them and like close them in the closet. Our work is to literally like shine a light on them and ask ourselves whether or not they're actually serving us, right? Is this a belief that's actually serving me? And if it's not, remember the belief that we adopted yesterday? I can change a belief in any moment. I'm going to change it. I want to change it. Yeah, I want to prove that I can still do big things with my brain injury. And I think people judge me for thinking I can do it. Wonder if I can. That 51% of me at least believes I can. Absolutely. I believe you can. Yes. And and also we don't care about other people's judgments. And I think that as well, something that just came up is, you're proving to yourself, or are you proving to people outside of you? Both. I think the golden ticket here, the silver lining, is to just do it for you. Right? Just do it for you. Fuck everybody else. And that's yeah. And that'll come. Yeah, I know. Okay, I get what you're saying. It's not like proving to other people, like, look what I can do, like, look what I can do. It's more so like I'm doing it for me, but I also know that I am a light in the world. I get it. That was like the opposite of what I was thinking you were talking about. So, absolutely. right? We're all here to lead in that way. We're all here to show others what's possible. So absolutely you can. And in fact, I want you to document that, right? Document it. Do little vlogs every day. You could even start now and say, hey, we're manifesting this Spain experience. And this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to do it with this and this. And I'm going to do it anyway. And here we go. The money's going to come. Watch me. When you do that, you like set yourself up for like that is taking action in the new way, in the vibrational frequency of the wish fulfilled. The mind is going to fucking freak out. Is going to freak out because you're like, what if I fail? What if people see me fail? There is no failure. It is a yes or yes done deal. Time is not the variable, remember. Your ability to accept a new idea is the determining factor as to whether or not this is happening. Money is everywhere. Okay, so have you figured out how much money, or have you kind of like played with how much money you want to have for that experience? Yeah, so start now. Start now. Do it on TikTok, Kelty, because you can record up to 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And you're like, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it. And just like little bits and pieces, totally raw and real every single day. Well, it doesn't have to be every single day, but it's like every step of the journey, and take us along with you. Okay, $6,000. So yes, I would bring in the money piece too and be like transparent. Right now, the money's not here, but you know what? I know it's going to come. And I'm willing to do my part. And I'm always being guided, and I'm receiving the signs. And then when you receive a sign, go on and be like, oh my God, you guys, like I just received this sign and this and this and this happened, and it'll be wild. It'll be so good. Love that. Okay, so that's exciting. Yeah. When my brain starts going to the how, I stop and close my eyes and imagine being in the walk and knowing it is done. Yes, absolutely. That's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. So our work is to become aware of those beliefs. And so just like I just stated to Kelty, it's like, how can I take action and take action that I know is action that she would take, right? If I had already booked my flights, what would I be doing? Okay. And by moving in that new way, we literally like shine a massive spotlight on the old beliefs, on the old beliefs, so that they come up, so that they come to the surface and we can actually get rid of them. So they're never like they're never going to like just disappear per se. Okay, there's different thoughts around that, but I see them as beautiful pieces to your story. Okay, what's going to happen is you're just taking your power back from them. So what happened for you and made you who you are today, right? You were raised in the perfect situation, the perfect environment to make you who you are today, and that is a gift to this world. And you are here on this call right now because everything's lined up perfectly to get you right to where you are right now. So, knowing that, there's nothing that you need to fix, right? There's this when we're talking about like bringing the beliefs to the surface, it's literally like healing them, closing the doors and the chapter, ending the chapters, like breaking the cycles, but just like loving yourself so hard and like forgiving yourself and forgiving everyone involved, and just that letting what happened just like be part of your story, and it no longer has like this like chain on your ankle. Okay. Does that make sense? Let me know, you guys. Is this landing? Is this landing? So this is our work, is to actually then take action in that new way that's going to intentionally bring up the shadows or bring up the beliefs. Yes, landing. Okay. So then from there, what we're doing is we're actually expanding what our body perceives as safe. That's what we're doing. Through taking new action and through healing old beliefs, and old ideas, that's what we're doing is we're actually expanding what our normal is. Because that's really what manifests, right? Is what is actually normal. What am I or sorry. What am I normalizing? What am I able to normalize right now? Because that is actually when the gap is fully closed. Remember, we talk about like we want to go from needing, because needing is repulsive. You don't need anything, right? So we look around and we like come back to the realization that we're taken care of, we got everything we need, we move out of needing and into wanting. Like, okay, I don't need anything, but I would want something. I want more money, right? Wanting is also still affirming the lack of the thing, the lack of the money. So we don't want to be in wanting either, because wanting still is like, I don't have it yet. So from wanting, we want to move into knowing that it's possible, right? Knowing that there's more available. And that's what we're doing here. And that's what I'm doing is I'm sharing my stories with you guys, knowing that more is possible, more is available, right? We're seeing abundance, we're seeing signs, knowing that we're not alone, all of those beautiful things. And then we don't want to stay in knowing either. We want to move into being the version of us who already has. That is the gap closing. That is because we normalized that new frequency, that new reality, that new level of wealth and abundance. When it is normalized, we are. Okay, and this is a little bit of a rabbit hole, but I do believe that as humans, like our work on this planet is to realize I am, right? I am the creative, I am a creative being. I am one with source creative energy. We are creators. So when we close that gap and realize I am, it is done by universal law, it will manifest. And our work is to catch our conscious human mind when it tries to tell us otherwise. And not just shut it down, but also give it space to speak. Give it space to, be like, okay, well, if this is continuing to come up, we got something to talk about then. Like, show yourself what's going on here. And that's when I love to write, or I usually like speak to myself in my notes, and it'll come out. The underlying belief will come out. And then it's my job to actually heal it, forgive, and work through it and see it differently. So beautiful, right? So, because, and actually, you guys, this is what my tapping method does. Okay. Lots of you know this already. Most of you, some of you know this, I guess I should say. Some of you know this already, but I created a tapping method designed to do just this, because just regulating our nervous system is not the answer, because we're not here to stay the same. And if we want to grow and experience new realities, if we want to substantially increase our income and change our lives in the best possible way, and if we want to do that in a short amount of time, like quantum leaping our lives, we must expand what our body feels safe perceiving, receiving, and holding, right? So we're going to do some tapping in a little second here. But before we do, I want to screen share the polyvagal theory. Some of you have already seen this, but I just want to share it for a couple minutes here to just give you this visual understanding of the nervous system and what's actually happening. Okay, I'm just going to screen share. Share. 1 sec. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now. And this is the polyvagal theory, okay? So something I love about this graphic specifically is this line here, this squiggly line, because this is natural for our body to go in and out of that sympathetic state throughout our day. Okay, as human beings, we are not meant to be monotone, like flat, emotionless creatures. Our body is designed to go up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. So that is us you know, like dipping into maybe a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of like even frustration. And that's okay. Our body is actually designed to do that. But what happens over time when we are living in survival mode, specifically, when we are living in a high stress environment for a longer period of time, our body's natural ability to calm and regulate is lessened. I don't know if it ever just disappears. Under the right conditions, it, in my opinion and in my experience, under the right conditions, that ability can be restored. My own perspective. Okay. So when we are in when the parasympathetic nervous system is engaged, right? The parasympathetic state is in the present. We are grounded. We are mindful, like it says here. We are curious. We are creative. We are thinking. We are dreaming. We are like feeling freaking good, right? We're feeling good. So when something happens, so I'm going to use the example of taking action in a new way. So for example, I'm going to use Kelty's example because I think it's so good. Um, the moment Kelty goes to do her first video on TikTok, I'm not saying you have to, Kelty. I'm just saying hypothetically here. The moment she goes to take that first step and do that first video on TikTok, and she states what she wants, where she's going, how she's going, she's doing it anyway. And she states her financial situation with the doing of the thing, with the trip. And she presses post. How does her mind feel after she presses that post? Chances are her mind's going to be like, what did you do? Like freak out. Okay. Instantly that triggers that sympathetic state. Okay. Her body could either fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. Okay. And maybe I'm just going to like go from what the general, like it's maybe like a common reaction to that would be fear. A common reaction to be like fear, doubt. Oh my God, we're going to fuck it up and they're going to see me fail. I'm going to be laughed at, right? People are going to judge me. Okay, so that is it could be fight, flight, fawn, or freeze, really, but it depends upon you. So as I'm saying this story, I want you to think about a specific example in your own life where this has happened, or you have taken new action, or something has happened and it caused a response in your body. Because this is my opinion. I do believe that everyone has their dominant response. So what's your dominant response? Is your response to like flight, like pack your shit and fucking hike out of there, like disappear, you delete the TikTok account, like hide away from the world? Is your response to like get out of there? Is your response to like show up in anger and be like, these people are commenting on my shit and like, they don't even know me. I've been through so much. Like I deserve more than this. Like, is your response to fight it? Is your response to fawn away from it? Like, who am I anyway? I don't even know. I'm not good enough. What did I do? That's fawning away from it. Or is your response to just fucking freeze and just like shut down? Or like, I'm just numb. I'm just like frozen in time. Like, I'm done for it. What's your response? If you can recognize your response, put it in the chat. I'd love to hear. But that's my opinion on it. And that's my experience on it, is that people have their own dominant response. That doesn't mean that you don't experience all of them. But what we're doing here is we're just building awareness, because knowledge is power, right? And when we encounter these experiences, as we, close out this event and go into our life and go through our lives and take action and take new action, because we're all here to grow and be better and do better, right? We then have this awareness of, oh, this is what's happening. Yeah, okay. Nicole said I oscillate between all of them pretty equally. Interesting. Okay. Cool. And sometimes it depends on the day, right? It depends on the hormones as well. Okay, so I just wanted to share this with you guys because this is actually what's happening. And so how do we get from sympathetic, then from that fight, flight, fawn, or freeze into back into homeostasis, back into that grounded, mindful, like thinking, calm state. Let me know in the chat what you do or what you have done up until now. So I'm going to say one more thing before I read the chat is that sometimes what can happen when we are in that fear state. So again, Kelsey's example of she posts this video and she feels that fear and that doubt and that fear of judgment and all the things. And if she stays there, and lets it continue to take her power, what could happen is she'll actually end up in this freeze zone. Okay, has that ever happened to you guys? Where maybe you felt just what I just described. Another example is like you feel that anger and you're like so fucking fired up and frustrated and like raging to then all of a sudden feel like you need to go to bed. You're like, I am locking the doors. Nobody can talk to me. I am done for the day, like closed until tomorrow. Like that is what's happening is you're actually moving from the sympathetic into that freeze, the dorsal vagal, into that freeze mode. Okay, I'm going to read the chat and then I'll continue on. Okay, so Nicole says she puts in music and dances around, goes outside barefoot, looks at the sun. Yes, tap on it more recently. Yes, because she's been tapping with me. I love that. I love all of those. Amazing. So the biggest thing is like switch it up. Like switch it up. Change the mood. Okay. Music is magic, right? Movement is medicine. Outside, the sun, fresh water, like the fresh air, that is gold. And then tapping on it, like we're going to experience soon. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love to go and like move it through the body, change it up. I'm like, who wants to go to the beach? Let's get out of here. Because then we actually don't like the chance of us ending in that freeze zone is less because then we're actually taking our power back and moving back into the present moment, right? Putting your feet on the earth, getting back into the present moment, feeling your body, right? I love tapping because we're not just using our voice to like to bring a voice to the voices inside. We're actually like tapping on our body, bringing ourselves back into our body. That's very, very important. Okay, so yeah, pattern disrupt. Exactly. Exactly. So that's to come from the sympathetic state. Those are examples of what to do when we recognize we are in that sympathetic state. Another one I will add is to eat. Eat something. Drink some water, eat something. Okay. Specifically something with protein. It grounds the body, brings us back into the body. Okay, if we are in freeze mode, sometimes what happens is we literally are just like, I just need to stay here for a second and like be in my sorrows. And like that's okay. If that's where you're at that moment, that is okay. Sometimes that is what your body needs and what your mind needs. And here's something that might surprise you, but I believe that most of the time what's happening when we actually enter that freeze mode is there is a significant recalibration happening in the body. And what's going to happen is if you give your body just a chance to just fucking like I said, like wallow in the sorrows or just like feel that for me it's like an empty feeling. Like it's like emptiness. Feel that fucking void. Give yourself permission to feel the void. What's going to happen is maybe it takes like a day or something. Maybe the next day you are going to have breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. Has that ever happened to anyone here? I'm pretty sure it has. It used to happen to me a lot. A lot. Okay. It doesn't happen as much anymore at all. I do have those moments where I will feel the doubt and the fear, and it will feel like it's taking over. And what happens is the same thing, is that I just like, I'm going through something energetically, whatever it is, mentally, some shifting. I'm going through a recalibration, and then out the other side, I'm like, oh my God, everything, nothing is the same. It's like this portal. So yeah, grief, Nicole said grief can be a portal. Yeah, so it's that. So just know that anytime you are finding yourself in that space, know that this too shall pass. And I am currently inside a chrysalis, going to come out the other side as the most beautiful butterfly around. All right. So other things though, in that freeze mode, what could be really helpful is actually similar things to what we had already said, like movement. So if you find like this is not like I'm feeling that shame, shut down, hopelessness, and I know this is not serving me, I know that I'm ready to shift this. That's the biggest thing is I'm ready to like shift out of this funk. Move your body. Okay, like move your fucking body, like put on some music, dance around, fuel your body, drink some really like, what did I want to say? I love to drink coconut water, like make yourself a nice chai or like something really like wholesome and move your body. All right. So now that we understand the nervous system and we kind of have like this visual as to what's actually happening now, this now makes, well, hopefully it will make so much more sense because when we realize what's actually happening, like I said, knowledge is power. So understanding that whenever you feel your body like in those states, it's not an opportunity to react to the thing. It's an opportunity to actually take a breath and chill out, change up the scenery, right? Because here's the truth is that creativity only happens when we are in the calm, collected, grounded state. Okay. I used to experience this a lot because I used to skip breakfast. And it was probably about a year ago now, this because I've been very, very intentional about my mornings and my eating habits and things like that. But probably just over a year ago, I would skip breakfast because I would go for my walk and then I would, drink some water and then I would open my computer and just get to work. But like by 11, I was like vibrating and I was vibrating in a bad way because my sympathetic nervous system was definitely engaged. I was like super stressed because my body felt unsafe. It didn't feel unsafe because I was doing things I've never done before. It felt unsafe because it was hungry. So that's why I mentioned eat. Okay, because that's really going to make a big difference. So when we understand this, we actually then know how to move, right? And we can actually expect that things are going to, our nervous system is going to be triggered, that fight or flight state, potentially, that sympathetic nervous system is going to be engaged when we're doing things we've never done before. And that is okay. It's doing things we've never done before, doing things that feel uncomfortable, doing things we have trauma around or fears around, all of those things. The sympathetic nervous system is going to be engaged, and that is okay. There's nothing to run from. So your work then is to remind yourself, fuck, I'm safe. We are safe. We are good because creativity doesn't happen when we are in that heightened state. That's why when people say, I need to make money, I'm like, you are repelling money right now. You need to calm down and realize you're good right here and now. You're good. Okay. And once you're come back to that grounded, regulated parasympathetic state, it's then you can actually think and actually originate new ideas and actually dream. Because if you ask a stressed out person who's been living in survival mode for way too long, if anything's possible, what would you love? They're going to be like, to buy fucking groceries, right? That's going to be their answer because they need to ground first. So anyway, all right. So up until now, just a little recap before we do some tapping. Excited? I'm excited. Such a good tapping activation. So up until now, we've talked about decision making, the importance of making a decision, vibrationally matching that new reality. That's what we did yesterday, asking ourselves, who do I need to be? We have asked, or we have started moving in a new way. We've started doing our life in a new way. Even the basic things like we spoke about yesterday, washing the dishes in a new way, like Kelty mentioned, right? We are living in a new way, thinking from new ideas. We have and are developing the faith that there's no way we can fuck it up. There's no wrong turn. It's all on your timeline. And we also, yesterday in that little science section, we also now understand that particles have already started to form because we've decided to focus on it. And remember that the particles take form, they act differently when they are observed. That's how I see it. That's my take. Okay. So you know that you always get what you ask for. You know that you don't get what you want or you need, but you get what you vibrationally match. You, yeah, you understand that the beliefs is the important piece. And I think we're going to talk more about this tomorrow. Right? So who you really believe you are truly, and then not getting so worked up about needing to be 100% because perfection doesn't exist on the human plane. The human experience is not perfect. It's messy and it's beautiful, right? So that 51% is the important piece. Who are you being most of the time? How are you vibrating most of the time? So now you understand the nervous system and you see fear as proof that you're growing. From now on, we're actually going to like intentionally seek out opportunities to feel that fear, feel that discomfort, because we're here to grow and we're here to collapse time. So that's how we're going to do it. And we see it all as an opportunity to be a new version of you. And now we also understand that we must continue to take action amidst the discomfort. So my example of Kelty and posting that video, she's not going to let her mind hijack her dream and her plan of showing up and documenting this incredible journey. She's actually going to go in that moment. She's actually going to continue to take action. Maybe that means record another video talking about how much her mind has just tried to hijack her dream. And the more she can take action in that assumption of the wish fulfilled as a vibrational match to that, done deal. Done deal. And it's going to override that. It's going to override that old potential cycle. It's going to override that resistance and that doubt and that fear. Okay. So I want to talk about the law of compensation before we get into some tapping. Let's bring in the law of compensation. How do we actually get paid? Okay. And money is not just an exchange, right? Money is not just an exchange. Money is a spiritual idea that came to us and it evolved over time and it is continuing to evolve, right? So just like everything else in this 3D world, everything started as an idea in someone's imagination. Like, look at my headphones. Believe it, that's my headphones. Isn't that so cute? Remember how big headphones used to be? Right? And then how many wires we had and how like bulky they were. Now I can fit it literally. I lose this thing all the time. It's so small. Okay, so everything starts as an idea and it evolves, but that is the same as money. Okay. So the law of compensation states that we will be compensated based upon these three things. We're going to run over you guys. If you need to jump off, you can. I am recording right now. So we'll be paid based upon these three things. What are the three things? The need for what you do, how good you are at it, and your ability to be replaced. The need for what you do, how good you are at it, and your ability to be replaced. But who actually gets to decide these three things? Who says that there is a need for what you do? The people around you? The internet? Some like search engine or chat GPT? No. You get to decide. You decide. You decide. And the way you make sure that there's a need for what you do is to do it your way. Burn all the fucking rule books. Do it your way. So I saw a quote yesterday right after the call. It's kind of a side note here. The quote was this: the only thing standing between you and sovereignty is the bravery to be yourself. It still gives me goosebumps. That's true. It's true. So are you brave enough to be yourself? So are you ready to decide that there is actually a need for what you do in a big way? I want you to be so obsessed with your offer or your service that you believe that every single person on this planet needs it. Okay, you don't niche down. You don't like hone in on who you're speaking to necessarily. There are some strategies around that, of course, but I want you to be to that level of like, this is the best thing around, and I know that it will change lives, thousands and thousands and thousands, millions of lives. Okay, so that's the first one. The second part is how good you are at it. So who gets to say how good you are at something? Well, in the past, maybe we've believed people outside of us, right? Because of our school system telling us and training us to believe there's only one answer. There's a fucking million ways to do any one thing. We know this to be true, right? So, how good we are at it, you get to choose how good you are. No one outside of you. So, it's up to you. It is your responsibility to be constantly studying your craft and getting better. We don't need to get stuck there, right? But it's up to you to ride those edges of discomfort and keep expanding what your body feels safe holding. Think about that. It's up to me to continue to intentionally get uncomfortable because it's in the discomfort that I'm actually growing. So sitting at home and telling yourself that, I'm just going to continue to learn in this way and this is me growing. Yes, okay, that is you growing, but it's you growing in a different way. If you want to move forward and take some action, that is actually what's going to keep you riding those edges and keep you expanding because there's always something that you can do in a new way. Remember, it's not just doing, it's not just scrambling to do the thing, it's actually doing the thing in a new way. And that's very, very important because that's what's going to keep you in that discomfort. And I'm not saying you have to be discomfortable, uncomfortable all the time. That's a weird English thing. Uncomfortable all the time. But just knowing that when I am uncomfortable, that is the biggest space where I am like that is where the magic happens when it comes to growth. Okay, so yes, of course, studying and listening to those things is also growing, but it's growing in a different way. So I want you all right now to decide that you are the best at what you do. Here's the thing though, you're no better than anyone else. You're no better than anyone else. There is no competition on the creative plane. So the moment that you feel rushed, pressured, stressed, overwhelmed, we've entered the competition. We've entered the competitive plane. And so if there are infinite possibilities, which there are, and infinite abundance all around us at all times, which there is no competition and there is no rush. So I want you to say, I am the best, but I'm no better than anyone else. Because you are the dang niche. You are the freaking algorithm, and you are brave enough to do it your way, right? Okay, so part 3 of the law of compensation is your ability to be replaced. So that one's easy. That one's so easy. Your ability to be replaced. Sometimes I hear people, that maybe work for well, they definitely work for other people. They're like, I would love to own my own business, but I need security. I need security. Wait a second. I love you so much, but I am the most. See you later, Kelty. See you on the replay. I am the most secure thing in my life. I will never give up on me. Okay, I want you to claim that for yourself. I will never give up on my dreams. My dreams may shift and transform, but I will never give up on me. I am the most secure thing in my entire universe. Right? You're irreplaceable. So sometimes, yeah, it's okay. I doubt myself sometimes. You doubt yourself sometimes. That's the human mind. And that shows me some shadows that I can move through, like we talked about, but I will never give up. Right? Whatever that looks like, I will never give up on me. So when you understand the law of compensation and you don't give your power away to outside sources, numbers, likes, followers, the numbers in your bank account, none of it can touch you. It's old information. And then you move in the energy of, I am so fucking unstoppable. I'm magnetic. Everything happens for you. It's a law of attraction again, the law of vibration, right? Yeah, sure, you might experience the law of polarity. The opposite of what you want might show up, but it's up to you to move through it as the version of you who already has a thing instead of reacting to it and continuing on in the cycle, right? So knowledge doesn't create wealth. I just wanted to say this again. I said it yesterday and I was like, damn, that was good. Knowledge does not create wealth. Knowledge does not print money. Certainty does. Certainty does. So it's not what you do, it's the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the moves you make. And these all determine your vibration and directly create your results. We got that? So when you understand this and you know how to work with your nervous system and the universal laws, money flows to you. Not out of lack, struggle, hustle, or stress. Money flows to you because it's who you are. So, manifesting money, moneyfesting, isn't about making money. It's about becoming the woman who is wealthy by nature because it's who she is. It's just who she is. And she can hold it because she knows how to work with her nervous system because she's constantly riding that edge, studying herself, healing her beliefs, changing her beliefs, upgrading her beliefs, right? Okay. So January last year, let's do some tapping. I'm just going to give you a little, just a couple details about my tapping method. January last year, I decided to claim my own tapping method. Okay, I had been tapping for years with various tapping mentors, and I brought my knowledge together on manifestation, quantum leaping, the nervous system, and even like neuroscience, right? And of course, my own lived experience to create the expand method. So, something I wanted to say there, it'll come back. So, my intention behind creating the expand method was to create a tool to support you in reprogramming your subconscious mind and expanding your capacity to perceive, receive, and hold more. So I'm going to lead you through a tapping activation. Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say there. So let's do it. If you've never tapped with me before, it might be quite different to any other tapping you have ever done. And that's the name of the game around here. We do things differently. But what I want you to do is just follow along with me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm recording it separately so you guys can come back and experience the tapping again and again. I want you guys to practice it. I would suggest you practice it every morning. Actually, make it part of your routine. This is a good one. Okay. So if you've never tapped with me before, just follow along, do what I do, and say what I say. And there's going to be some fill in the blanks because I love fill in the blanks. Gives you an opportunity to speak the truth of what's inside of you. Okay. And we're going to be tapping on energy meridians on the face and the torso. All right. And like I said earlier, the tapping itself brings us into our body, right? It brings us into this like visceral experience. And while tapping on the energy meridians, we are actually circulating energy through our body, okay? Cleansing, detoxing the body. One spot, one like tapping point that I love that not a lot of people talk about is actually the liver meridian, which is right here. It's like along the bra line, right underneath the chest. Okay. Because the liver as an organ is like the detox organ. So, especially when we are doing our venting and processing tapping, we are really just like freeing ourselves from old information, right? From old beliefs, old ideas, like old vibrations, whatever it is. And so it's really important to tap on that one as well. So I will, I will record this over here so that you guys can practice it again and again and again. Sound good? Okay. So find a comfortable seat. If you are in a safe place to do so and are able to sit and close your eyes, I would highly suggest you do that. Give me one sec. I'm going to set up over here. Okay. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out the mouth. Just take another deep breath in through the nose. And as you blow out, imagine you're blowing out of a straw. And we're going to start by tapping right on the top of the head. Repeating after me. Today, I am deciding that I am done believing in lack and limitation. I am done believing that I need to do more to make more money. And I am done believing, fill in the blank. And instead, I am consciously choosing to believe that making money is easy. That money flows to and through me effortlessly. That money loves me. And that I am a money magnet. And I am declaring that anything and everything that was previously blocking me or stopping me or slowing me down in any way has left my body. I have completely cleared any and all lingering fear, doubt, or distortion from my body, my mind, and my fields. I've closed the chapters. I have healed the generational trauma. I have broken the chains. And I have ended the cycles. And just saying these words out loud feels so freaking good. I'm so proud of myself. I feel free. I feel abundant. I feel passionate. And I feel unstoppable. And anytime those old doubts or fears try to sneak their way back in, because they will, I'm going to see them as they are. An opportunity to be. To be the version of me that I am here to be. And to take action in a new way. And so I'm going to go into my day now. And I'm going to see all the abundance, all the signs, and all of the wealth that is all around me. And whoever the person is that I need to become to attract it into my life and bank account, I am in full faith that everything I need and everything I need to experience to become that version of me even more today will show up exactly as I need it. Whatever is misaligned will leave my life gracefully and with ease. And whatever is a vibrational match will be effortlessly attracted to me. I deeply and completely trust that the path will be shown and it will be obvious because I trust myself. I love myself. And I am always listening to my intuition because I know that I'm always being guided. I always get what I ask for. And I'm so grateful. Wow. I feel so much relief and so much peace. I don't need to rush and I don't need to worry. It is safe for me to slow down, to enjoy the journey, and to be me. Fully, completely, authentically me. And so it is. Bring one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Take a deep breath in. It is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And exhale. Notice how you're feeling. Hey, if you feel called to share in the chat, you can. How do you feel? I am so grateful for every single one of you. Thank you all for being here. For real. We're changing the world. So we have, I trust that you're all feeling amazing. On fire. I just want to say one more thing about the tapping is I intentionally choose words that might, I don't want to say trigger, but bring up information. Okay, so if at any point I like love tapping for this because sometimes it's all about awareness. Every time it's all about awareness. So sometimes though, we aren't aware of a belief that is not serving us. And so when we are tapping in this way and saying things like it's safe for me to slow down, and your mind's like, you're out to lunch, you need to do more, that is a belief that's not serving you. So maybe what you experienced while tapping is that you experienced some resistance, some doubt, some fear, some contrast that showed up. Don't turn a blind eye to that. Write that down. Okay, write down what's coming up for you. I've recorded the tapping, might be a little windy, recorded the tapping separately for you guys, so it'll be on the replays page. in a link so you can directly access that tapping activation. And like I said, I would suggest doing this every morning. And what's going to happen is because tapping speaks the language of the subconscious mind, you're literally directly accessing those beliefs. And so when you're saying these things, like, well, let me see another one. It's like, I am in full faith that everything I need and everything I need to experience is coming to me. You know, when you're saying these things, it could potentially bring up a belief that like the struggle's real. So then it's up to you. I call those like your golden tickets, those like little golden nuggets. That's such a bad word. I don't like that word. But anyway, it's like those little pieces of gold. And the more that you can actually shine a light on them and heal them and forgive yourself. And that is what we do in, because my tapping method has 3 different pieces to it. So this was an activation, but we do also have like venting and healing sessions, which is where we would take that old belief and we would tap on it and bring out more information around it. We would forgive yourself, everybody else involved, and then we would close that chapter, bless and release and affirm it is part of our story, that sort of thing. So we would essentially take its power back so that when we go to do an activation again, we can bring the subconscious and the conscious mind together, right? Because when they're both on the same page, when your conscious mind is like, yes, I can see how this is possible, and like, we're doing this, then the gap closes. Okay, so anyway, we've run over time, but I trust that you're all feeling amazing, unstoppable, fucking on the top of the world. Um, Stay in this energy, right? Stay in this energy and carry it with you throughout your day. And if you're not in VIP yet, you can still upgrade for $22. Okay, so tomorrow we have another conversation, but it's going to be where we integrate in real time together. There's going to be opportunities to unmute, to ask questions. We're going to apply what we have been talking about over these last 2 days. We're going to apply it in real time together into your life and business together. Okay. And there's going to be another tapping activation tomorrow. Let's see how the demand is tomorrow, because we could also potentially I could show you how to do a venting session, and we can even do one together, because all of the doubts, fears, and whatever old beliefs that might be coming up for you, you're not alone in that. And chances are there are other people, if not everyone else, that is also experiencing that or has experienced that. So yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Okay, so we can talk about it tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I also have a special invitation for all of you who feel called to work with me in a group setting, and join our Rise community and take this material to mastery, because that's what we're here for. We're here to become a master of the universal laws, a master of our nervous systems, and a master of money, right? Money, wealth, and abundance. And we're here to be a light in this world, and we're here to change the world by being us and ourselves, right? So if you didn't upgrade yet, you can still upgrade. But everyone else, if you already upgraded, which most of you already did, so I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. The Zoom link will be in your email. Okay. Thank you so much for being here live with me or on the replay. I love you all so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Go have a beautiful day and stay in this energy. Oh my gosh.